Good evening, everyone, and welcome on back to the channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful day out there. Today we're going to listen to Prince because we've listened to Purple Rain here on the channel, but I really do not know anything about Prince besides listening to Purple Rain and probably hearing a few other tracks here and there. And so I decided let's go ahead and listen to some more. So I'm listening to just the first track, the title track as of right now, off of Sign of the Times, of course, 1987 release date. This would be his 9th studio album. And I'm listening to this because it was recommended by a few people. I may have names messed up, but just hear me out. SMH93, GP Reactions, Benoit Desmarais, Oh No 1, DIJ, Mackie Chan, AK, I don't remember if you recommended this, but I think you did. At least you mentioned it. Saturine Bear, Eric Anderson. The list goes on and on and on. However, I'm also choosing this one because the album cover looked cool. I don't know which way to go. There's always the, go back, go this way, go that way. I'm just choosing one. So we'll see where we go from here. We don't have to listen to the full album, but we can if you guys are interested. But for now, enjoy what we have, and here's what we have. Sign of the Times. Here we go.
Did the same. At home, there are 17-year-old boys and their idea of fun. It's June.
The synth funk like layers and buildup is really, really great. And his
It ain't happy truly until a man truly dies. Oh, why? Silent time, mess with your mind. Hurry before.
and it's moving right into the next song. Okay, we have to talk about Sign of the Times. This was a phenomenal track. Remember initially when I said, I'm just choosing this one. I don't know where to go from here. Kind of leave that up to your hands. I might snatch that back out of your hands because I'm kind of curious to see how this continues on. I think that this was a stellar opening track. The drum machine and the way it was used kind of reminded me of Peter Gabriel, just the atmosphere of it, but that's neither here or there. It's not very long until, of course, the bass from Prince starts to come in and funk it up just a little bit, just adding a quiet, simply walking in groove, just walking it down the street, just very, very on track with the drums. Then, the way that Prince himself comes in vocally is so, man, it has a lot of facets to me. It's basically rap, right? It's 1980, whatever it is. He's basically rapping with a melodic R&B as touch, and he's singing to me with this melodic urgency, of course, courtesy of the lyrics too. But there's an urgency in the way that he's speaking. There's a wondering, a questioning in the way that he's singing, and then at the end of every verse, he answers his own question with repeated notion of time, which we'll of course dive into as the music kicks in, and then his guitar is let loose. I see that on this track, he's doing everything. I would expect no less. And then the guitar comes in, just begin to minimally chopping it up, getting into the mix. I love that there's a line where he mentions church bells, and that's where you hear these bells become more apparent. At one point, let me look at the verse again. The drums drop out when he says, but if a night falls and a bomb falls, will anybody see the dawn? So I like how when the drums drop out at that particular moment, there's almost this air of tension, this air of holding your breath. And to me, it's, if you ever see videos or pictures of your perspective, let's just say in the distance, and way, way out in the distance, you see a bomb explode, a nuclear explosion. And then, of course, that, even if it's a movie or, a real life documentary or video, that explosion is coming and eventually will overtake where that perspective currently is. And I think that the way that the drums drop out at that moment kind of capture that moment and that feeling of this is the last second or two before obliteration, when you know that it's coming. I think that was just a very intelligent way of that happening there. Then there's little moments of those, to me, very 80s kind of hits, those burn, like those quick little orchestral kind of hits that are, obviously synthetic or whatever. I think that is really cool. I think that this song had this air of mysteriousness to it as well. And then the ending with the drums, the drum machine kind of going off a little off the rails instead of sticking to that specified motion. Just a really, really greatly produced and constructed track. I really enjoyed this. Let's take a dive in here, huh? In France, a skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. Like, I love this already. So you're already setting a scene for the album title, the theme of it all, and, you know, a skinny man dying of big disease, a disease that's, you know, whatever it could be. It could be a lot of different things. It doesn't even matter. It could, it's something that's affected many people, but it has a short name. First thing I think of is like an HIV or AIDS, like an epidemic like that. But it could be anything. Like, by chance, his girlfriend came across a needle, and soon she did the same. So overdose. At home, there are 17-year-old boys, and their idea of fun is being in a gang called the Disciples, high on crack, toting a machine gun. So he's describing different sorts of epidemics, social diseases. Hurricane Annie ripped the ceiling off a church and killed everyone inside. You turn on the telly and every other story is telling you somebody died. Sister killed her baby because she couldn't afford to eat, and we're sending people to the moon. In September, my cousin tried reefer for the first time. Now he's doing horse. It's June. Times. So the whole sending people to the moon, you know, the whole idea of, you know, why send people to the moon or to Mars or to space when we can't even fix the problems right here on the planet we do have, or the place that we do have. You know, it's silly. My microphone. It's silly, no, when a rocket ship explodes and everybody still wants to fly. He's posing a question. It's not necessarily a right or wrong, you know, answer to it, but he's just posing a question. Some say a man ain't happy unless a man truly dies. Why? And like I said, at the end of each of these, he says, time. So is it, you know, is it in time we're forgetting things, or is it in time, you know, the current pain, for example, of a rocket ship exploding and people dying? Is it after a certain amount of time we say, let's try that again and see if we can be a success? Is this just humans' innate desire for success and progress and pursuits? Baby make a speech, Star Wars fly, neighbors just shine it on, but if a night falls and a bomb falls, will anybody see the dawn? Is it silly? No. When a rocket blow... Oh, yeah, I already read that one. Sign of the times, mess with your mind. Hurry before it's too late. Let's fall in love, get married, have a baby. We'll call him Nate if it's a boy. Times. So I think at the end, you know, he sees these signs of the times and he's like, you know what? Things may not go well. Things could go this direction. Let's enjoy life right now. Let's just enjoy the time we have, whether that's seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, years, so on and so forth. Let's dive into the Wikipedia article for this particular track. It says that it was originally intended for 2 separate Prince studio albums meant to be released in '86. Both were shelved, Dream Factory and Crystal Ball. Prince performed, of course, all the vocals and instruments here. Let's see. Sign of the Times was reportedly written and composed on a Sunday when Prince usually wrote his most introspective songs. It proved to be popular upon release, topping R&B charts, reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 10 on the UK Singles Chart. And it obviously, as you can see here, has a bunch of other accolades, including being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Grammys. It says it was constructed by Prince almost entirely on the Fairlight CMI. That thing was popular in the 80s. Sampling synthesizer, which provides the primary keyboard riff and sampled electronic bass sounds. Okay, I thought it was him actually playing acoustic bass on this one. Of course, you have those orchestra hits in here as well. It says the single marked a stark shift from Prince's prior albums, with a sparse electronic arrangement and a blues and funk influenced lead guitar part. The lyrics are similarly downcast than any of Prince's previous singles, addressing socio-political problems including HIV, AIDS, there you go, gang violence, natural disasters, poverty, and the crack epidemic, the Challenger disaster, the Strategic Defense Initiative, and the threat of nuclear war. Okay. Can I tell you something? And this is just because, obviously, I wasn't born in '87, so I didn't know yet. I don't know why. I thought that the Challenger disaster was actually during my lifetime for some reason. Like, I thought it was early 90s. I don't know why. All this time I thought it was early 90s, but I am way off. I am incredibly way off. Anyways, that's a really good track. Continue with this album, or maybe a majority of you will say, no, go to this album. I'm happy to go wherever you lead me. I am the horse, and I'm just looking for some water. me know what you guys thought of the track in the comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Got some water on my lip. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.